Good morning, beautiful humans. I'm here, Toby McCraw, with the great Dr. Sebi. Good morning, Dr. Sebi.
Good morning.
Welcome. What is the keynote for the year for good health?
The keynote of this village for this year is just occurred in Los Angeles a week ago. Uruwa. It has been now 40 years since I have afforded myself as a healer, as a servant. Yes, over those 40 years, much have been accomplished. Much. Like the cure of AIDS, the cure of sickle cell, lupus, herpes, blindness, paralysis. Sure, we have cured those diseases over and over again. But that's not even scratching the surface. People tell Dr. Sebi, oh boy, Dr. Sebi, you are a very smart brother. Brother, you are bad. You are heavy. Well, I'm light as helium. Nothing to do with heavy. I'm not smart. I'm not intelligent. I'm none of that. I am an African. I am an African. I must repeat, because it is the African in us that has been removed, which prevents us from really communicating. And if you think that I'm saying something other than the truth, well, think about this. I am a black man, the son of Africa, that speaks English and speaks Spanish. I speak both languages. But yet, I am the son of Africa. Now, how did that occur? It occurred because something along the way came and interfered. So, we didn't know what that interference was. But with Uruwa bring things back into balance. Uruwa is the highest expression of the African thinking. We have to go back. Why do we have to go back? Because it is in that state, that African state, that we will find peace for the first time. Well, we have a little history, such as the Christian people from Europe, they try to help us. The Muslim people from Arabia, they try to help us. But the Buddhists also from Asia, they try to help us. And they are very good for their people and themselves. For us, not so. That's a violation. Why it is a violation? Because look at what these entities afford us to eat. Each of them gives us food that will undermine our genetical predisposition. The Christian give us pork, you know that's bad for us. The Muslim give us lamb, which is worse than pork. But we are not condemning each religion because they are good for the people that they represent. But for us, not so. So when we turn to Africa to find an equivalence, what do we see? We see nothing. Africa didn't have a religion. Africa didn't need a religion. Why? Because the African people didn't live by philosophy or belief. We live by the laws of life. The laws of life. Yes, the laws of life. It is the only law that has been introduced to humanity that takes us back and reconnects us. Philosophy cannot do that, nor religion. The African. Urua. Urua begins by showing us that each individual person is number one because we are uniquely made by nature. There is no other like Dr. Sebi. There is no other like you. So we cannot compare you with anyone. You see? No. Because there's no other to compare you with. But they rob us of that internal love that we should have for ourselves. Now we feel that we are not as adequate as Hippocrates or as Socrates and Plato, Aristotle and Diogenes. Especially myself, Sebi. Sebi didn't go to school. Sebi didn't go to anything. So if there's a candidate that should feel inadequate with themselves, should be me. I should feel like, wow, I needed a doctorate degree to express myself to you. I need a doctorate degree to feel that I am secure within the perspective that I represent. Well, brothers and sisters, I have no degree. I haven't even been in the classroom. So how did this happen? I don't know, but Urua showed me how it happened. Urua showed me that it had to happen. It's an occurrence that was supposed to occur. Wow. Well, what was the energy in me that availed me the privilege to look beyond the average? The energy in me resonates from the African environment. I am an African. I am not an Afro-American or an Afro-Honduranian. I am an African born in Honduras. Because I'm not a hybrid. I am an African. Urua now shows that when you go into self and begin to realize your importance, you could participate on this life arena. But if in you there is doubt and there is an enemy, that would never be obtained. So yes, when you ask me the question about what is the best thing or what is going to happen this year, what came about to enhance further what we have done, Urua. Urua brings the energy of the village. It brings love. It brings that component that was robbed of us, that was taken away through that journey that we all know. We don't have to say it's slavery. It was an occurrence that took place. But Urua shows us that even though that occurrence took place, what resonated in us is an energy that doesn't exist in any other race on the planet or the universe. So we represent an energy that even we ourselves are unaware that this exists. Why? Because we were co-opted. I am an African man speaking English, thinking English, eating English, and doing everything English. Am I balanced? The answer is no. I'm supposed to be African all the way. About the religious part, well, notice carefully. And I think that we all would attest to this. Africa didn't have a religion. It's the only part of this planet where religion did not originate. Africa. Some of us may feel that because that occurred, that we must be lesser than others. But in reality, it shows something a little bit different. Why didn't we have a religion out of Africa? We didn't need it. We didn't have alcohol. We didn't have prostitution. We didn't have doctors and lawyers and cows and hogs and goats and sheep and lambs. We didn't have any chicken. We didn't have any acid food such as rice and beans and potatoes. We didn't have any of that. We didn't have anything. We didn't need anything. We didn't even have clothes on. But look at the beauty of this, that we were so secure that our little children ran around without clothes all their lives and nobody was being raped or dragged away. But today, with clothes, there does such thing. So yes, we're going to proceed on now. What is that manifestation or the dictation, not so much manifestation like dictation? What is the dictation of Uruwa? That you consider yourself, number one, because you are a unique expression of life, no other like you. So you have to be unique, and number one. Second, you will not afford yourself anything that hurts. Why? Because this is you. This is your temple. This is what God and nature gives us. This is all we have. So I cannot offend this. So in Uruwa, you will not afford yourself anything that hurts. Third and last, offend no one or anything. We practice that naturally. These things are being sought of, but it's not being practiced. Because as we go back to the forests of Africa where we live naturally, we didn't have any books. We didn't have any philosophers or scholars. Why? Because scholars and philosophers does not fit within the rhythm of life. They come with a bunch of words, a whole heap of words, talking to us, telling us of all these perspectives that they think fit within the vernacular of life. But if all this is true, why are we so sick today? Where children are being born sick. With all of that which they gave us, we born sick, and we are very much divided. Well, we're piercing now. We're going little by little into this confused situation that we've been presented with. We call it history. Well, good. Like Malcolm said, history is the best reward for all research. And as far as Malcolm was concerned, I knew the brother. I remember sitting with the brother quite a number of times in New Orleans and in St. Louis. And everything for Malcolm I loved.